You got to be free. Come together right now.
Separate the weak from the opposite. Weak hard to creep in Brooklyn streets. It's on, nigga. Fuck all that.
Windmill farther down.
So I lived in missing bullets. I'm on the pursuit of happiness. I know everything's your time. I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had too far to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Hello, and welcome to the Humansfromaplace podcast. It is July 23rd, and it's been a pretty shitty week for music. We lost somebody this week. We lost Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park. If you don't know who that is, you've probably lived under a rock for the past 20 years. Pretty much. Kyle, what do you think about Linkin Park?
I used to be a huge fan of Linkin Park. I shouldn't say I'm not now, but once they started going away from rock rap and just went into straight rock, I think they lost their sound a lot, and then I didn't like it as much. But as far as rock rap, a ton of that music honestly is horrible, and Linkin Park is one of the few huge bright spots from that. They just consistently put out good music for a while.
They pretty much started that genre. So I think that's why they...
Limp Bizkit and stuff was earlier than that.
Yeah, but the thing comparing Limp Bizkit to Linkin Park is Linkin Park, we said it before we started recording, that I said they're all about progression. Every single album from Linkin Park is about progression.
Yeah.
Some bands, like Limp Bizkit, found their sound and they didn't progress at all. And they just stayed in one genre. Linkin Park, every single album's different. Now, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Some people hate that, some people love that. That's why they were able to grow to such a big band and get such a big following. But it also makes some of the original diehard people be like, oh no, fuck that, they sold out. My opinion is it doesn't really matter because, Chester's dead. And there probably will never be Linkin Park again, point blank, which is
never.
It's very sad. You usually don't have an artist kill themselves right before a world tour like that. But, his friend committed suicide. What was it? Chris Cornell, right?
Yeah. The lead singer of both Audioslave and Soundgarden.
And that there's been interviews where Chester even talked about it publicly, where he's just like, yeah, it's been difficult. He broke down and started crying on, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel's, during their live performance a few weeks ago. So obviously it hasn't been right, but I don't think anybody saw that coming. And
just from listening to their new music, it's very depressing, and there's definitely huge precursors directly to, I think, his suicide. On their song Heavy, and then Good Goodbye with Pusha T and Stormzy. The name of the song is Good Goodbye. That in itself.
R.I.P. Chester Bennington. R.I.P. But now we're going to get into the show. It's pretty interesting week. What's popping? What's the first thing that's popping? Because I think it's R. Kelly, your boy.
Yeah, so apparently R. Kelly has these women living basically as a cult, and he has several houses together, where they all live, and he tells them everything to do, from what to wear, like what to eat. He basically controls their whole lives, and they just have the hopes of following him and eventually getting famous themselves, and that's essentially why they're doing it. But they're living in basically a cult. Like, it's pretty fucked up. While what he's doing may technically be legal, I mean, he's completely controlling and fucking up these girls' lives. And it's not like this is the first time that R. Kelly has done something messed up. He's done some pretty terrible shit over the years, and this kind of just adds on to that list.
My opinion is, like, right now I'm looking over the BuzzFeed article again, just reading back through it. The whole situation's fucked up, in my opinion. But, I mean, technically there's no crimes being committed, so there's no criminal wrongdoing being done. Do I think the girls are kind of stupid for putting their whole dependency on somebody like that? Yeah. What Kelly's doing is making them depend on him for every aspect of their life. That way they don't have any other options. And yeah, that's fucked up, but that's not illegal. And it's not a cult, in my opinion, either, because they're choosing to be there. There has been 3 wellness visits I'm reading right here in the past 6 months, and all the women are like, yeah, we're fine, we just don't want to talk to our family. Now, are they intimidated? Probably. Are they told to say that? Probably. But there's no proof. And as long as the women don't want to charge anything, nothing's going to come of this. Other than maybe BuzzFeed and then the girl's parents getting sued for slander. That's maybe the only thing that may come out of this, which is even more fucked up. Especially if he's like, hey, I'm going to run your whole entire life and now I'm going to sue your parents.
I mean, do the girls really want to be there, though, or are they just young and brainwashed?
Well, I'm going there.
It's more so that
they're going there with the intention that R. Kelly is going to make them superstars in the music industry. Now, R. Kelly isn't a superstar in the music industry anymore, so why would you put your trust into him? That's the only thing I would say. What has he done when it comes to grooming an artist and making them good? He hasn't. So why would you trust him? He's not Dr. Dre. He's not
Prince or somebody that actually did that.
He's not Kanye. That leads us into our next thing. What's going on with Kanye, Kyle?
Okay, so some of Kanye's fans are now suing him because mostly it's from a tweet that he put out, basically saying that his newest album, The Life of Pablo, would only ever be available on Tidal. It would never go on Apple Music or anything else, probably no physical copies. And now, of course, as you probably know, it's on everything. It's on Apple Music, SoundCloud, any streaming service. Basically, the fans are suing him because they misled him, and he misled them into buying Tidal subscriptions. Where my point is, Kanye changed that album so many times. Kanye is not doing anything confident and fully anymore. It's kind of your fault for really believing what he was saying. I mean, even Jay-Z's 444 was only exclusive on Tidal for a week.
Not even.
Yeah.
I feel like it was 10 minutes.
If you completely trust what Kanye is saying and completely go along with him in 2017, then you're pretty stupid.
Well, they're stupid enough to sue him when he doesn't have any money, so. Speaking of fucking idiots, one of my favorite idiots is in the news again, Taylor Swift. I fucking hate Taylor Swift. I hate her fans. I hate her following. Fuck you if you like Taylor Swift is what I'm saying. But, yeah, Taylor Swift got caught being carried out of her apartment in a giant suitcase to avoid the paparazzi earlier this week, and then she was spotted again, I believe yesterday, trying to avoid them. Now, Kyle, you said you weren't aware of this. I'm going to show you the picture. That way you can kind of get an idea. That's Taylor Swift. You see? Yeah.
Okay.
So so that's what she was. That's how she was taken out of her apartment to avoid the public. And then she released a statement saying this isn't true. Blah blah blah. It's true because the security guards that were doing it said, yeah, she's in there. And then this was yesterday. She's trying to stay, incognito, not being seen. Again, I'm all about your privacy. I'm fine with that. Just don't live in New York City on Broadway.
Good point.
You're not going to get much privacy.
I mean, you can't see the photo, but it basically looks like a coffin is being carried away.
And then this was
Pretty
her
much.
trying to hide again yesterday. Which that's kind of normal.
That's normal.
Just
like,
hoodie and glasses. I'm fine with that. You can't be carried
normal.
around in a goddamn suitcase. Can't do that. Fuck you, Taylor. Kyle, anything important today happened in music history or no? Can we move along? What happened today?
Yeah, we have a few things. For July 23rd, of course, in 2011, Amy Winehouse died of alcohol poisoning
R.I.P.
at the age of 27, way too young. She had so much more talent that would have been on display, so that's always sad. In lighter news, though, in 1965, Slash, the lead guitarist from Guns N' Roses, of course, was born. In 1955, Chuck Berry released his first single, Maybelline, so that's a pretty big deal. And on this date in 1968, the Jackson 5 interviewed to be on Motown, and of course they were promptly signed.
They were?
Well, duh.
Who are the Jacksons? I've never heard of these people.
Okay, we're moving on. One other thing that I wanted to mention, July 17th marked the 50th anniversary of the death of John Coltrane, a famous jazz tenor sax musician, and he's honestly maybe the most important artist in the progression of music that we have today. So even 50 years after his death, his music is still making an impact. I actually have an article coming out probably tomorrow on him to highlight that more, but just to mention that.
Alright, so it's festival season, Kyle. Kyle, you found this festival, so it's FYE Fest we're going to be talking about, right?
FYF Fest.
Or FYF. I can't read my own hand. FYE Fest kind of makes... I mean, that kind of makes sense if they sponsored a festival, but FYF, I guess, is the actual name of it.
Yes.
Do you know what the name stands for? Or should we look that up?
We should look that up before we talk about this.
I mean, we're already talking about it, so we're here. We've arrived.
Okay.
Kyle, what do you think of the lineup?
The lineup is crazy.
Talk about it.
It might be the best lineup of the festivals this summer. I mean, the headliners are Missy Elliott, Bjork, which I know you don't want to say. I could understand that. Frank Ocean and 9 Inch Nails. And then, other than that, I mean, there's A Tribe Called Quest, Erykah Badu, Iggy Pop, Solange Knowles, Run the Jewels, Flying Lotus.
Let me stop you right there.
Anderson .Paak.
I need to stop you right there. FYF Fest. What do you think it stands for?
No idea.
Fuck yeah Fest.
Well, they're right.
Fuck yeah Fest. All right.
I'm not even done though. Like Little Dragon, Kalani, Hannibal Buress is there, by the way. Thundercat,
which we'll be talking about in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll be talking about him shortly. Kirk Knight. I know there's a couple more. No Name Gypsy, of course.
Tyga. No. It's Tyga. Tiga. Who's that?
I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea who that is.
I thought that was literally Tyga, but they spelled his name wrong.
I hope so.
Yeah, but
fuck Tyga.
Yes, fuck Tyga. But when I look at this lineup, like day one, I wouldn't buy a 3-day pass for this. I would buy a 2-day, just because of day one. Day one kind of turns me off. Tickets for this festival, we're looking at it as it's going on. So 3-day passes, you can't get them. Aftermarket, if you're on SeatGeek or StubHub, it's going to be $300 plus. If you're still looking to get a day pass, they're $125 a day. So
the last day of the concert is today.
Yeah, but you get the point. What I'm saying is, I would purchase a 2-day pass for this. I'd go see Frank Ocean and 9 Inch Nails. I would skip day one. I'd fuck Missy Elliott and Bjork.
Well, not Missy Elliott, but Bjork I could see.
Fuck Bjork, which means I'm not going to pay to see Missy Elliott because of Bjork. But, I mean, MGMT, Anderson .Paak, and the Free Nationals, not just Anderson .Paak. He's got the live band with them.
Who are awesome.
You got A Tribe Called Quest, Hannibal Buress. I mean, the whole lineup, top to bottom, it's quality.
Bad, Not Good. Arca, who just dropped a great album this year. The lineup is incredible. I would absolutely pay out the ass for it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth the price of admission to get in there, so it definitely gets our approval. Just, I don't know if I'd get a 3-day pass. That's the only thing I'd say. Kyle sounds like he definitely would. Me, I would probably save $120, $130 and just get the 2-day. Because I'm not a Missy Elliott fan. Point blank, at me.
I would go 3 days.
At me.
All 3 days. So our artist spotlight of the week this week is Tame Impala.
Okay, and that was The Moment from Tame Impala off their album Currents. Kyle, now tell us a little bit about Tame Impala. You picked them up. I don't know much about them other than that one single, Let It Happen, but that's pretty much all I know about them.
Alright, so Tame Impala is an Australian collective headed by Kevin Parker, and it's alternative, but more specifically like psychedelic rock.
Psychedelic soul is what he's telling me here.
And a lot of the influence is from older psychedelic bands like the Beatles and like Pink Floyd, but then it's kind of fused with like newer electronic sounds like MGMT or something like that. The cool part is that Kevin Parker is the main dude, and the other 4 guys are Dominic Simper, Jay Watson, Cam Avery, and Julian Barbagallo. The last 4 dudes, they only tour with Tame Impala and play the instruments live. When it comes to the actual recording of it, it's only Kevin Parker that plays all of the instruments and then records them back over each other. It's essentially just all him, which is crazy. That's some like Stevie Wonder type of shit right there. Not a lot of artists do that. As far as the sound, it's
definitely goddamn unique.
It's crazy. That's one of the kinds of music that you could just put the headphones on and just get completely lost in another world and another vibe. Nobody else is making music quite like him. He's really widely recognized, and I think it's just so cool that he does it all essentially himself.
I'm looking at their Apple Music page, and it's just the editor's notes. I love this. It says a psychedelic soul opus that echoes Michael Jackson and Prince. Yeah, it's funky, and you can get lost in it. Definitely check these guys out. They're Tame Impala, and Apple Music has their music. YouTube, check them out wherever you can find them, wherever you listen to your music at.
He has 3 full-length albums out so far: Inner Speaker, Lonerism, and the most recent one, which The Moment is off of, Currents. And I think Currents is my favorite, but they're all fantastic albums, and I highly recommend checking them out.
Okay, and on to our album review of the week, Drunk by Thundercat.
So, Drunk by Thundercat was released in February of this year. It's pretty much it's a concept album. It's pretty much just goes through, being drunk. Seriously. And there's a shift. There's a quick song, which a lot of them are quick, but Day and Night, that just transitions from being day drunk into night drunk. And I think the craziest part about it is that he had this collection of songs without a title yet, and him and Flying Lotus agreed on the title just being Drunk, and then reordered the songs and added a couple more, and then, they made
it real drunk.
They made it real cohesive, though. It's crazy that the album wasn't that cohesive until they gave it a name. It's usually like the other way around.
This shit to me,
it's a weird album. It's a very weird album.
It's funny.
Yes.
It's enjoyable, but it's not shit you just put on. This is full disclosure. If you've ever smoked marijuana, if you would just sit down and maybe smoke a marijuana cigarette and listen to this album, you might get lost in it. So it's good to zone out to. It's good to listen to like that. Just zone out. But if you're in a car full of people jamming out, getting ready to go out for a night, no.
No, it's not that type of album.
It's the type of album where it's like MGMT-ish, where it's like you don't really know what they're saying. It's almost a little Eddie Vedder going on in there, where it's like the lyrics aren't that clear, and then other times they're crystal clear, where it's like cats are cool, meow meow meow.
Love that song.
So,
but it's one of those albums where you have to listen to it several times to really get everything he's talking about. I really like it because it is fun and happy, which Thundercat hasn't been more recently in his past couple albums. Like Apocalypse, a decent amount of that was centered around death because he lost one of his close personal friends. And, of course, he collaborated a ton with Flying Lotus on his album You're Dead, which is
maybe
essentially about death. And this album is very fun and more lively. Until the end, it does get way more serious. But
Captain Stupido. I don't know how many times they say it in Captain Stupido, but he says, "I feel weird. I feel weird." I think is that the only lyric in the song?
No.
This is all right. It's a very cohesive album, as Kyle said, and that to me is almost like the problem with it. To me, that's the only nitpicking I'd say, because I put albums on and I'll listen to them, but this whole album, there's 23 tracks, I believe, and it's short. It's only like 50 minutes. So each song is like 2 minutes, and if they all sound the same to a degree. Yeah, so there's nothing that's going to stick out that's like, oh, that's that track. So I've listened to this album several times, but it's still hard for me to pick out the names. One, because there's so many songs, and two, because they all have a very, very distinct Thundercat sound, like, that MGMT modern day Pink Floyd. That's modern day Pink Floyd sound, to be fair.
I like the album a ton. My major criticism is that, too. I love cohesiveness rather than just a collection of songs, but to me, sometimes the songs just sound too similar. They almost sound like the same song.
Well, isn't the first song and the last song literally the exact same song?
Yeah, but I mean that's on purpose.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's a good example.
Not the lyrics, but
not the lyrics, but
the actual beat and everything is exactly the same.
Yeah,
but that's on purpose.
We'll play you a little snippet really quick. That's the first song. Rowboat Ho.
Rabbit Hole.
Rabbit Hole.
Like it's going down the rabbit hole of being drunk.
And then the last song, started. DUI. This is the start of it. So when he's doing this, I mean, obviously it's very, very meaningful album. It's very, very, there's a lot of.
It's very personal.
Yeah, there's a lot of he puts a lot out there, but I don't know. That kind of turns me off in a way. It turns me off. I still like it. It just turns me off.
I have a problem with more of the internal songs sounding similar. I don't mind that to wrap it up.
Well, that was just an example. There's probably 5 or 6 songs that it's like, wait, that's the name of it? I thought it was this.
And, well, of course, he does say some weird-ass shit on this album. And sometimes it's cool and it's fun, and other times it's just kind of weird.
Like, the one song that's I Am Crazy. It's 25 seconds. I mean, it's just, I am crazy. I'm pretty sure that's all he says, is just, I'm crazy. Oh, I remember this one, yeah. This is one of the ones that I was like, I wish it was longer.
True.
Like, I like this style that he went for on this 25-second song.
I really like all the collaborations that went into this.
Oh, yes.
I think it's awesome. There's Kendrick Lamar, of course, Kamasai Washington and Flying Lotus. Pharrell, of course. I wouldn't expect Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins, yet Thundercat's so weird that maybe I should have expected something like that. But he even pulls that off on the one track, Them Changes, which is crazy sad. He has the Isley Brothers on it, just legends. Like, that's just an awesome collaboration.
Is this your favorite song on the album?
Probably. It's the most personal. I mean, it's about getting his heart ripped out. And I think we can all kind of relate to that. I mean, this is towards the end of the album, and it does get really sad.
The funny thing is, it's towards the end.
And contemplative.
It's still song 15 out of 23.
It's still towards the end.
Still that length thing. My favorite song, I would have to say, would be probably Drink That, just because it's kind of one of those ones that you could almost put on any time. It's not... Like I said, this is one of those albums where I like listening to full albums, so I like sitting down and listening to it, but everything sounds the same. It's just... To me, there's certain songs that make me chuckle because of some of the random shit he's saying, but Walk On By and Drink That, I mean, mostly because of the features, too, are the two that I've been clicking on when I'm not listening to the album.
My part of the album that I love are tracks 12 through 15, starting with Tokyo. And Tokyo is basically about his infatuation with anime and all that Japanese type of stuff.
Yeah.
A ton about Dragon Ball Z, which I love Dragon Ball Z, so I could definitely relate to that.
Like, see, this is just that random shit we were talking about earlier. What he said.
Exactly, but how is this not just random drunk thoughts?
Like, no, I feel like that's what he did. I feel like he was just getting smashed in the studio. It's like, alright, bro, been eating a lot of fish. Tokyo. It's like, alright. I don't know.
Gotta shout out a fan's mail, the Tron song 2 about his cat.
Yeah,
yeah. He's just singing lovingly about his cat.
Which it kind of gets weird.
I don't think anybody else could pull off something like that. I think Thundercat does it well, though.
I mean, I don't know. I think that just about wraps up. You got anything else you want to say about the album, or?
I think I love the cohesiveness, even though at times it does.
Even though you hate it.
At times it's a little too much cohesiveness. It's definitely a concept album, so you're gonna have to listen to it a few times through to really get it. I love that he wraps it up with the Turn Down and then DUI, talking about how, you know, sometimes it's acceptable to drink, and then other times, you know, when you drive drunk or whatever, then it's the worst thing ever. And
don't drink and drive, kids.
But and on the Turn Down, Pharrell talks about some real shit too, which I really like. Just like he says, if all lives matter, then when we mention black, why do you gasp? I think that's good, and he goes in more depth, saying like, why does the U.S. Army have so many weapons and everything. The end of the album gets very, very introspective, despite the whole beginning just being fun and happy.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Kyle, let's put it out there. What are you thinking it is?
I'll give it a An 8.5 or a 9.
Ooh, that's higher than I was thinking. I was thinking like a 6.7, something in that area. It's above average. Five would say it's an average album. It has some good replay value to it, but it only has 2 songs that I regularly listen to if I'm not listening to the album. What about you? I mean,
I love the album. We definitely differ a little bit. I think it's one of the best albums of the year. I don't think anybody else can quite do something like this. And I definitely listened to several of the tracks over and over again.
Alright, well, I think that just about wraps it up with this album. Kyle, you want to announce next week's album?
Next week's album, we'll be covering Humans by the Gorillaz. Another one of the...
Banger.
Yeah, another one of the best albums of the year.
It's another banger. It's interesting.
Yeah, definitely some weird aspects of that album, too.
But yeah, definitely listen along with that. Alright, so let's get into our last segment of the week. Fire of the week, Kyle. What do you got? You got Shabazz Napier, I see?
I mean, you were close. It's actually Shabazz Palaces with Moonwhip Quays featuring Darius. They just released 2 new albums, and they both follow along the line of like futuristic space type funk, basically from Funkadelic and Parliament to like Kool Keith, and this just goes on down the line. They're definitely somebody worth checking out.
Alright, and mine this week is kind of a little bit of a throwback. It's Sonny Shots 30. Now, Sonny used to be part of this group called the Dean's List. They had a falling out. He did some independent stuff, and now he's pretty much in ghost mode. You can't find him anywhere, really. He's not really on social media. He's not really putting music out anymore, but was digging around on DatPiff, and I found this old mixtape that I like, and it's a banger. So we'll be tweeting that out, and we'll be playing also the song here on the outro. So Kyle, you want to wrap it up? You got anything you want to say? Any shout outs you want to give? Anything like that?
Just rest in power, John Coltrane. Other than that,
R.I.P. Prodigy. R.I.P. Chester Bennington.
Chris Cornell.
Everybody's
of
dying.
course, Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse, we brought her up.
We're losing a lot of talented musicians.
And sometimes the younger musicians coming up make me scared.
Yes, I agree. Just
happy.
Nobody wants to break out and be themselves. At least you have to say on Thundercats Drunk, he's absolutely himself. He's not trying to sound like anybody else.
No,
he's trying to go for that like 80s kind of vibe, but he's definitely not trying to sound like anybody else that's making music.
He's definitely his own thing. I could say that there's nobody that's going to copy that. But I think that just about wraps it up. Say your social media, shout that out. Then we get the fuck out of here.
Alright, on Twitter, LBN_KG for music and football.
And then hit me up on Twitter at LBNScott. Just the randomest shit will be going on there. Follow our main page at the_light_bulb_. And that's our main page. You'll see all of our articles coming out. You'll be seeing all of our video content, all that good shit.
_.
Don't forget the underscores, guys. Have a good night. Peace.
Riding on a light wave. I never been a good slave. I kiss Queen and Zanzibar. I blew up the Death Star. My niggas is all wizards. Paradise for sushi. We ain't standing now. Let me show you how.
We'll talk about your album, Kyle. God damn.
Okay.
It was the summer of our lives, to say the least. And Sunny was the maestro of our souls.
I hope we make it to 30, man, we had a good run. All these people I think about when I was so young. Do you remember me? Do you remember me? I hope we make it to 30, man, we had a good run. All these people I think about when I was so young. Do you remember me? Do you remember me? Name another guy with a flow this hot, a flow this cold, man, I bet you not. Young S-O-double-N to the wizard, I ain't never mind tricks, some of my trick Jedi. Slow down, mama, catch your breath, taking no days off till we out of debt. It go bang bang, and the hands go up, boy, put the gun down, you a man or what? All these kids wanna do is smoke cannabis, play Chief Keef, living all dangerous. On the block with a ski mask, in the middle of the summer like, what's happening, bro? I'm just out here trying to get paid. Oprah, figure y'all need a little change. Sofa, try and put tents on a range. Rover, fly to any city, no lay over. Remember old days in the rain, soaking, playing cause we never knew the pain. Grew up, now we on a swing, feeling strange, swinging, feeling like a love within a day. So nuts, 20 more miles to the road, and now my movie ain't over, keep it rolling. She fell in love with coke, started rolling, so her best friend yelling out, I know that. I hope we make it to 30, man, we had a good run. All these people I think about when I was so young. Do you remember me? Do you remember me? Yeah, had a good time, wouldn't you say? Fell in love for like 1 or 2 days. Now we wake up with a schedule when it's too late. Life is getting too real, it's on Blu-ray. You buying bouquets for the missus. You ground the kids in your dishes. Technology's your enemy, and now everything is so different. You were never really into the morning. It's 6 a.m., you're yawning. Talking about, man, I hate my boss for my boss dud. I'd be so happy, man, sleeping all day. But I gotta drive 30 minutes to train and a really long walk to the job I hate. Can I get an amen somewhere? Somebody feel me, man, I really think I'm gonna quit.